So I just saw Strange World. Man, I wish I had someone to review this movie with. I'm just... The fuck? Whoa! Where have you been?
Gone, man.
Oh, wow! Well, I was just going to talk about that new Disney hit, Strange World.
Strange World?
Have you seen it?
Oh my god, I have seen Strange World.
No way!
I know, crazy.
Wow, that's crazy how that works. Anyway. Yeah, saw Strange World, the newest Disney movie. What'd you think?
Honestly, I thought it was solid. I thought it was a decent movie. It was pretty good. No, I would say it's good.
I thought this movie, it's fine. It's enjoyable. It's good for what it is. It's not one of Disney's best. It's like, for me, if I were like doing a Disney ranking, I'd probably put it like somewhere in the middle. It's not bad. There's nothing about this movie I would consider bad or like poorly done. It's a great looking movie.
Definitely.
It looks really unique. Looks really interesting.
I guess without spoiling it, all like the creatures and like the world that they showed were really cool. I like just the world that they went to itself was definitely like the highlight of the movie. Just I don't know, like I wanted this movie to be weird, and I guess it definitely delivered on that part.
Yeah, the emotional core of this movie is the relationship between the three generations of the Clade family. It's this guy, his dad, and his son. And to be honest with you, I cared more about the main character's relationship with his dad rather than his son. To be honest with you, I didn't really care much for the son character at all. I didn't find him very likable or interesting. He's just like whatever. But I mean, he's not terrible or annoying or anything. I just didn't find it all that interesting. And the dad character, I mean, I don't really care much for that character on his own, but I guess the relationship between him and his son is kind of fun.
I think with like the three of them, I think they did a good job with that relationship, and like they follow through with it to the end pretty well.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to review this movie. I don't have a ton to say about it, but I did have fun. I was never like bored or anything like that. It's enjoyable. Like I said, it's a cool looking movie, especially near the end. Like there's this scene. Oh, there's this other sequence where like the dad is like explaining what he did, and they do these like little like pictures, but it's like a combination of 2D and 3D. So that looks pretty cool.
I definitely like the animation there.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess now onto like the more spoilery parts. So
Yeah.
I think this movie did do like a good job establishing everything kind of quickly, but I guess on the other hand, like I feel like some things definitely like move too fast. Especially,
I felt that too.
especially at the beginning. I feel like they do like a very good job like showing everything. Like they kind of tell you like the son like, oh, he wants to be more of like an explorer, like, but they kind of just tell you. They don't really show it as much.
Yeah.
It's like more so just him saying it.
Yeah, I felt that way too. Like, there's even a scene where the mom, who doesn't really get a lot to do in this, she's like, my favorite things are family, flying, and farming. It's like, okay. It's like they're literally explaining that to the kids in the audience. Like,
Yeah.
this is what this character likes.
I feel like with like the message of the movie where, what's it called? The, what's it called? What was the son name?
Oh, fuck, I don't even remember. Oh, Ethan.
Yeah. Where I think they did like a good job showing how main character didn't really want to be like his father, but he ended up being exactly the same as him. Like I feel like they did a good job showing it. They didn't really have to say it like outright.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's like, I mean, his relationship with his dad is like, his dad is an explorer and he didn't want to be that way. And now it's like the same thing, but they never outright say like, oh, this is just like me and my dad. It's just like, no, it's just like, that's just how kids are. They're not always going to be like their dads. You know, I thought it was fun how like the first scene of the movie, he's like, I don't want to be an explorer like you, I want to be a farmer. And later on in the movie, it's like the same scene but with different characters. It's cool. It's thematic. It's
I
interesting.
definitely thought they did a good job with that.
Yeah.
I guess with like the world itself, like
I liked the twist at the end when they revealed what the world was.
I thought that was interesting.
That was
I
really
definitely
cool.
liked that. I thought like the creatures they showed were kind of cool, but I feel like they focused on like the blob creature too much, which I think.
Oh my god!
Like I think it's like a really simple design, but I think it's cool how much like expression they give it out of that. I think they do. I think that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should have like had more time for like other creatures, you know, especially in like the second half of the movie where they don't really show that as much. I thought like that was really the most interesting part of the movie for me, and they should have showed it a bit more.
For sure. I actually felt like this movie could have been longer because, like I said, it did feel very rushed. Like the first 10, I was like, okay, we've established like the backstory, and then the plot kicked off, and then he's reunited with his dad, and I feel like it's been like 5 minutes. Like I feel like this movie just started.
Exactly. I think like it moves a little too quickly. I feel like it should like establish like it does a good job like telling you like establishing things, but I feel like some things you don't really get enough time to like really process it.
One thing I felt that way towards was the world outside of the strange world that they go into. Like the world outside of that, I'm like, that world actually seems kind of cool. I want to see a little more of that, actually, to be honest with you.
Like I think they have some really good ideas, but they don't like elaborate further on them.
No, it's a really interesting world that you could do a lot with, and it doesn't reach its fullest potential. But it's not a complaint, but like, I thought this movie was chuckle-worthy, but I never really had a big laugh out of it.
Yeah, like they had some decent jokes.
Yeah.
Besides that, not.
There's no jokes that are like fucking Illumination level where you're just like, fucking kill me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think this movie did anything particularly bad. I didn't get into this movie as much as I did with other recent Disney films. Like I loved Encanto. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love Turning Red. That's Pixar, but you know what I mean.
Which, like, it's kind of its own thing. I wouldn't really like compare them, but honestly, I don't know. I think like some things in like the plot could have been like changed a bit, like adjusted. For example, like this. I feel like instead of I forgot his name. So Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. I forgot his name too.
Jake Gyllenhaal, when he meets his father, I thought it would have been more interesting to see Ethan, the son, meet his grandfather, and then once they like come together and make their way back to the ship, they see.
And they realize who the other is.
Exactly, and that would have made more sense with the
You're my grandpa. You're my grandson.
Yeah, with like the narrative the movie trying to the movie was following. I think it would have made.
I think that would have worked better too.
Yeah, because I feel like.
Especially since they have this like, oh, the son wants to be more like his grandpa than his dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what you're saying, I think, would have worked way better.
And I also think like, again, with like how this movie kind of moves along too quickly, I think it's kind of doesn't. I think it could have been done better. How immediately when Gyllenhaal just gets into like, the weird world, he immediately meets his father. Like upon like the first weird thing he sees, he just appears.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's like, this is a big ass world.
Exactly.
You know, and you just happen to run into your father within the first 5 minutes of being there.
Right.
You know? It's like if I went to Florida and I just ran into my sister. I'm like, oh my god. You know. But yeah, fuck. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, but here, keep talking. Let me try and fucking figure out what I was gonna say.
I guess like in terms of like the main conflict near the end of the film, and I guess like Lucy, I feel like she just kind of became an asshole at the end for no real reason. Like
my God,
I kind of get it. Like, you know, she was like set out on this mission from the start. Like it makes total sense for her to still want to continue this, but like it doesn't really feel like the way she acts in the end of the movie.
And then
really
she just changes her mind.
Exactly. Like it feels like she just has a total character shift for no reason.
Like, oh, okay. I guess.
Like,
you know.
It feels like they needed to have a conflict, so they just use her.
Yeah, I think the plot in this movie is pretty weak. Like the actual
yeah, they could have done a
story.
better job with it. But like again, like they have some really good stuff in it.
I'll tell you what, I was happy she turned good in the end because I was like when she like kind of turned on them, I was like, oh fuck no, we have another Disney movie with a fucking twist villain.
I would have been so upset
no,
like, if they did that all the way.
Please stop doing that, Disney. Please, fuck. Like we don't need it anymore.
Right.
But yeah, the whole his son wants to be more like his grandpa thing. You've seen it before, and they have that really cliche line where it's like, son, this is our dream. No, Dad, this is your dream. Like,
yeah,
I think there's like 2 lines in that movie that are like that. But
again, like, yeah, no, it's mainly just they like. I think it's they have a good narrative. I just think like some of the lines could have been done a bit better.
I think you like this movie more than I did. I didn't dislike it. I thought it was fine.
I thought the movie was solid. Like it had a lot of good stuff in it. Like the world is really cool. Like of what they showed in it. The movie's beautiful. Like I'll definitely give it that.
It is a great looking movie.
The narrative is solid for the most part.
Yeah. I thought this movie, like I enjoyed it for sure. I had fun, but I would probably never watch it again, and I probably won't remember a lot about it within like a month. That being said, it is like 100 times better than Lightyear.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, if my recommendation level, I would say you'd be fine waiting for Disney Plus. It's not really worth going out to the theater to see, but it's not bad. It's enjoyable. Your kids will love it. You know,
Yeah.
it's more than other Disney films, recent Disney films. This one's a little more for the kids, and that's not a bad thing. You know,
Yeah.
that's fine. But adults can still get some funny jokes out of it. It's an enjoyable time.
I think it's definitely fun.
It's worth seeing.
Mhm.
But it's nothing amazing. At least
Right.
not in my opinion.
It's just a solid Disney movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess final thoughts, like ratings and stuff.
I guess I'd probably give it like a 6. Honestly, I think it was good. You know, I enjoyed it. Just some things could have been done a bit better.
Yeah, I'd give it probably a 5 or 6. I'd say it's 6 because it's not.
Yeah.
There are I can think of a lot of 5 out of 10 movies that are much worse than this.
Like it has its problems, but I think it does a lot of things right.
Yeah, your kids will love it for sure. It's enjoyable. I guess maybe I should look at it less like a Disney film and just more as like its own thing. I think that's what's kind of moving it down for me is like as a Disney film, I think it's pretty weak. Like if I were like putting it in the ranking, it wouldn't be very high.
Right.
But you know, not every Disney movie is gonna be fucking Aladdin or Encanto or
Yeah, and
all that
they
shit.
don't really need to be.
Nah, not every Disney movie needs to fucking change your life. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But yeah, Strange World, I'd give it a 6. It's fine. It's enjoyable, and it's good to see you, Alex.
Good to be back in the reviews.
Yeah, maybe you'll see him again later this year.
Who knows?
Who knows?